this is Jamie English. I'm here to do a video and I'm really excited about the topic because I experienced this myself dealing with different people in my life and things like that. And it's like, it hurt me, but now I'm learning from the experiences and my mistakes and learning the traits of people with this topic I'm talking about. So, okay, I'm doing a series about abandonment issues, specifically maternal abandonment. The person who was abandoned by their mother. And then right now I'm talking about men, how it affects men, a man who was abandoned by his mother. At some point, like while even preparing to do this video, I realized I have friends, or I had past friends from the past who had women who've had issues with being abandoned by their mother as well. So I do want to touch on those at some point. But today, my focus is on abandonment issues in men that men have. And my message though is for women who are either in a relationship with a man like that, or in a friendship, or have a relative or something like that, how to deal with it, and different traits that you can expect to see if this goes untreated, meaning they never work on the issue, the abandonment issue that is constantly there, and they never do anything to kind of get out of it or remove it from their lives or even overcome it. So I found this great article about it, and I just want to share what I've read because it's really amazing. So it's just to say, abandonment is really just trying to keep you safe from heartbreak. So some of us, we put walls up, barriers to prevent people from getting too close to us because we're so afraid or in fear of our heart being broken. And it thinks that if you keep your heart closed, nobody will be able to abandon or reject you. And we all know, even though that's maybe traits that we do, we all know that it's not true, because you can't prevent necessarily that from happening. Or if you try to, you're losing out on potential love because you're putting those walls up and those barriers to where someone can't even get past that point. So you live an unsatisfied life, or you have an unsatisfied area in your life. But let me go through 5 traits that men who have abandonment issues, that they do. So, hopefully if you are in a relationship with this person, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so true. That happens to me. So, okay. One thing, they look for flaws. And you know what? I did a video on this yesterday. I didn't post it yet, but I will be posting it soon. And just take that as series number 1 or part 1. This is part 2, because now I'm digging deeper. I'm going in, and I actually explained some of these things in part 1, but now I'm digging a little deeper with it. So I mentioned that men with abandonment issues, maternal abandonment, that they look for flaws. Like they like, no matter what you do, you can be 99% good, like a good woman to your man or to your friend or whatever, but they will find something, or a few things that are wrong with you. They look for what's wrong instead of for what's right. Nobody ever breaks up with you because you don't give them a chance, meaning, they don't give a chance for you to break up with them. You're always the one to leave, even if you find a good partner. Okay, number 2, people think you're shy or reserved. You're hard to get to know because you don't trust people. So people with this trait, they don't trust people. They don't want you to get too close to me. The person that I knew who had it, that, was close to me, okay, he looked at them like, you're going to do something wrong to me until you prove to me that you're not. Whereas me, and I used to think like that too, but now I don't. Now, if I meet a new person, I look at them like, you're a good person until you prove to me that you're not a good person. I mean, unless my discernment kicks in or something like that, and then I wouldn't even want to get to know you. But, if it's a person who seems genuine and authentic, I look at the best in them until they prove to me otherwise, that they're not the best for me. So the way that the person I knew would look at it was, you need to prove yourself to me that you're a good person. Prove it. kind of thing. So yeah, look for that trait. All right. They fall hard and fast over and over again, meaning they're always in a relationship because they don't know who to be as an individual. And this is like so in line with what I was saying yesterday. Is I was and refer back to that video because this gives a great example. Like I was saying how the person that I knew, we would talk and I would have an opinion about a topic or, several topics that we would talk about through our relationship. And, but then like a day later or a couple days later, if that topic came up again, they would use my opinion as if it was their own. Now, it's nothing wrong with someone agreeing with you. Like you say something like, oh yeah, I thought that was really great. You know why I thought that was great? Because that person was wise and this and this, whatever. And they say, yeah, I agree with you. I think the same thing. No, it wasn't like that. It was like, I'm doing random opinions. I say, yeah, I don't know about that person because the way that she handles things, I didn't like the order in which she did it, and I didn't like this and that and this and that, right? So it wasn't that they agreed with me. It was that a couple of days later, they would use, the same story or the same opinion or whatever situation back at me as if it was their own, like they owned it, like it was never said before. And I would be like, well, that's what I said to you a couple of days ago. And I never understood it until now. It's because they don't, identify themselves as an individual. Like that person never got the tools to become an individual, to think on their own. So they started mimicking and copying other people's behaviors as if it was their own, even if they didn't really agree with it. It was something, you know what I mean? So anyway, that was a great one. When I read this, it was like a confirmation, like, oh my gosh, I know that. I know exactly what that means. And they are perfectionists. I mentioned this yesterday. If only you get it right, you won't be rejected. Whatever it is, a work project, the way your home looks, how you dress, or what your body looks, perfectionism is a thief. It steals your happiness under the guise or disguise of preventing rejection. So I mentioned this yesterday that this person that I knew, it was like everything had to be perfect, meaning like their clothes, their shoes, they had to have this, that, and the other. And it was like, even if they look really good and, from head to toe, you're like, wow, you look good. Like, oh my gosh. And then they would look at themselves and be like, oh no, I have to change this. I have to change this. I have to put this on. I have to do this. I have to do that. Like to get to this perfection state of mind, or to where they felt inside that they were perfect, even though they were covering up a lot of things and they were not. They were far from perfect. And we all are. Recognize and talk about these people, and I'm not judging them. I'm not saying they're wrong for being this way. I just know that they have to do the work inside, in their heart. The thing that bothered them so much, and like that feeling of rejection, they have to work on it. Like, I watched the show Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya Moore, she was abandoned by her mother, right? All I see, even though she's beautiful on the outside, she has the hair, the makeup, the look, I see so much hurt and pain on the inside based on her reactions and the way she treats other people and her judgments and her criticism and her what's the word? The way she speaks. Like she sounds like she's very intelligent, but she uses it and abuses it. And when I see it, I see hurt. So she uses it as a cover up. Like, oh, I'm intelligent. I can speak this way. I can shut you down with my words. I can shut you down with my words. But all I see inside is the pain and the hurt and the resentment and the abandoned little girl who is protecting herself because she doesn't want you or someone else to abandon her. Yeah. So, I hope that she gets it. I hope that she does the work. I will be able to tell the difference by watching her, whether she works on it or not. At this point, based on what I see, no, it's not the case. But anyway, I just wanted to bring some enlightenment and talk about people who were abandoned. If you're in a relationship with them, one of them, be gentle with them. Don't judge them because they're obviously hurting, but just try to encourage them to seek help, meaning like somebody who can come in and give them a different perspective and give them the tools, and who can dig deep enough to get to that pain, the root of the pain, and, you know, help them work on recovering. In the video I did yesterday, I gave some tips that you can do to relieve some of those thoughts and those actions, not actions, some of those thoughts that you may have from being abandoned. Like, you have to kind of erase it or get it erased in the subconscious part of your mind. Otherwise, you're operating on it daily. You may not even realize it at this point, especially when you're older. If you're so used to, you know, being that way, you start to forget that that's your issue. And that, you know, the things that you're acting out on, you know, it's all stemmed to that abandonment. So hopefully I'll find some more stuff about it to bring some more enlightenment to this. You know, and I really want to give more tools to people who may be watching this, who may have been abandoned by their parents, their mother or father. So, you know, in the hopes that you can, you know, get better and to deal with it and face it, because all it's going to do once you do and go through the growth process, it's going to hurt in the beginning, because you have to, you know, remember that abandonment. You have to, you know, talk about it and challenge yourself and things like that. But over time, it will get so much better. It will get so much easier. And then you'll start to see the progression in your relationships. Your relationships will be better. Your relationships will be healthier. They'll be more productive. You'll start attracting the right people instead of attracting the people who will abandon you, because you have that resonating in your body and in your spirit and in your soul. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this was good for you. I hope this is as good for you as it was for me. Thank you. I'm signing off. This is Jamie English from Get Your Life Girl in Charlotte. Bye-bye.